Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again with the Losers Lounge podcast, the greatest podcast out there. I mean, if you don't listen to us, then why are you here? We love you guys. Well, seriously, we love you guys. We're back to talk the Elimination Chamber and review the Elimination Chamber. I really thought it was a good show. I'm not gonna lie, but of course I'm not alone. I wouldn't be here. This ain't my channel. I'm just one of his co-hosts, his fellow losers, and now let me introduce my fellow loser, Christian Maracle. What's up?
Oh, Elimination Chamber was something, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Without a doubt.
Oh, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on episode 80 Mricking 9. 80 Mricking 9. Yeah, I said 80 Mricking. Mricking is a new word I'm making up.
Mricking.
Mricking. We're going to use it now. Mricking.
There you go.
It's pronounced M-R-I-C-K-I-N-G. Mricking.
There you go. We own that. Copyright right here. Losers Lounge.
Exactly. Properly the Losers Lounge podcast, not the Toxic Lounge.
Exactly.
Because apparently that's a thing now.
Y'all did.
Yeah, we saw what y'all did.
We know exactly what y'all did. Oh, we heard the references too. We know y'all said losers on that show. We know exactly what you're doing, WWE.
Yeah.
We know you watch us.
You watch our podcast, and it's been confirmed over and over. You'll hear from us
many times.
You'll hear from us at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Yes, you will.
In the meantime, though, WrestleMania is another time. This time, we are reviewing Elimination Chamber, which took place Saturday, February 19th, in Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Superdome. And I just want to say, I love the stage setup.
Dude, it felt like WrestleMania stage. I'm not gonna lie. It felt pretty different than what we're used to seeing. I was expecting, the big screen they usually have, but this was pretty different. And I appreciate the stuff that they went to putting in that stage. I liked it.
Yeah, as we have known in previous histories in WWE doing it in Saudi Arabia for the events such as Super Showdown, they usually just had the big screen like they did for WrestleMania 35.
Yes, sir.
Which was still good.
Yes,
I don't see a problem with it. And for Crown Jewel, they usually had that big giant crown, which is honestly one of their best stages.
Oh yeah, for real.
Although last year they didn't do that, but they did do some really good creative stuff with it.
Good.
And this time, well, it seems like they had the big screen, but they accessorized it,
which is great.
Indeed, it is great. However, I will say, folks, our review on Elimination Chamber is kind of mixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's very mixed. It's very mixed. It's in the 50s to me.
It's like in the 51-ish, 52-ish. I don't know. There's some questionable things on this show. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I
didn't hate it. But it was
I
okay.
refer to the show as it was okay, but had a lot of quote questionable predictability.
Yes.
A lot of which we will get to it, and we'll start it off right now. But actually, before we do, we want to let you guys know that next week will be the predictions to AEW Revolution.
Oh joy! Okay, of course I'm excited. I love AEW.
Of course we are. And then the following week after that, folks, it is going to be the season 4 finale of the Losers Lounge podcast with a review of AEW Revolution. For the first time ever, AEW is closing off a season,
which is awesome. It's a first time, which is Losers Lounge is mostly known for.
And then, of course, what'll happen next? I wonder.
I don't know. Just
maybe
something with a certain mania.
A certain season 5 premiere?
Exactly.
Season 5 premiere, the Losers Lounge podcast talking WrestleMania 38, which will include NXT's Stand and Deliver and the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And we want to say, I guess, since WWE's saying it a lot, it'll be the most stupendous Losers Lounge podcast of all time.
Exactly.
Hey, we said it a lot catchier.
Exactly.
That's because we're not going to keep constantly saying it.
No, we're not.
Seriously, WWE, don't just constantly say, just slap it on the poster and leave it at that.
Exactly. You don't have to flat say it all the time. It gets annoying.
Yeah, I could do a bonus round on my Sins videos or something.
Exactly.
Anyway, Elimination Chamber had some good moments, had some bad moments. Last week we talked Rey Mysterio and The Miz. That got moved to the pre-show. Rey Mysterio won. Joy. I think for a lot of things that went down, this show was almost 3 hours. I think they actually had a 3-hour time limit.
Yes, they did.
So that's why something did not end up happening, which we will get to. And that's why the Elimination Chamber matches kind of were short.
Very short.
Yeah, the ruling, they kind of changed the ruling here, folks. In Elimination Chamber matches, it's every 5 minutes someone releases into the pods. They did it every 2 minutes.
Yep.
That way, everybody was in the cage 8 minutes into the match. Then you're wondering, what the fuck, right?
Exactly. Like, it was just weird.
Well, we'll talk about the weirdness of the chamber in a moment. But we're going to start things up by talking the Universal Championship. And Willie, do you notice a pattern that Roman's been opening up the shows?
I like that.
Yeah, Roman Reigns has opened up the Royal Rumble, and now he's opening up the Elimination Chamber.
There you go.
There was only one occasion where him opening the show did not make sense, and that was when he was in his I Quit match with Jey Uso at Hell in a Cell. That was the one time when we were like, that should have been the main event, because that had the best story.
Exactly.
And it was way better than Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre.
Exactly.
And if not,
I still enjoyed that match.
And if not that, Sasha Banks and Bayley definitely should have been the main event too.
Exactly. That was pretty fun.
Okay. Well, let's say Roman Reigns defended the Universal title and retained it against Goldberg in the match.
Yes, he did.
Here's the thing. This was actually a good match.
It really was.
It wasn't just constantly spear, 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 that's it. They actually grappled.
Which is awesome.
Yep. I enjoyed a lot of the things that happened. And what I also enjoyed about this is Roman did not hit a single spear on Goldberg.
Yeah, for real.
So it wasn't spear versus spear at all.
Also, Goldberg did hit a single jackhammer. He went for it.
He was about to, and I loved Roman's counter into the guillotine.
Which was incredible.
And then Goldberg, of course, passed out. Roman retained the title. I actually think it was perfect that Goldberg passed out, did not tap out.
Exactly.
Because, let's see, Goldberg, he ain't known for tapping out, is he?
Nah.
Passing out was the right way to go. That was, as I quoted it, as strangled to death.
Yep.
Hanging on to the very end. And he's done for. And if we're lucky, this was Goldberg's last match.
Hopefully. Nothing against Goldberg, but it's time to hang it up, bro.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, like, Roman was the right person to do it. That's why I was hoping. Here's the before it was even announced, I was hoping that Reigns would maybe face Goldberg for the Universal title. Because it was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 36.
It was.
Now, just imagine if that match happened at WrestleMania. I think it would have been great.
Exactly.
But it happened. Roman retained the title. The right decision was made. And it was a good start to the show. So, Willie, what'd you think of it?
That was a pretty good match to open the card. I thought it was also a pretty physical match. The offense was great from both guys. I loved how Roman countered the jackhammer into the guillotine, which was incredible. Paul Heyman did his thing. No interference from the Usos, which was great. Roman's entrance was fantastic. Goldberg's entrance was fantastic. And I liked that they didn't show Goldberg coming out from the back. He just showed up on the stage, which was pretty cool. And it was pretty good. Back and forth. It was short and sweet and to the point. And there was a point I thought Goldberg was going to win. I'm not going to lie. But I was like, nah, Roman's got this. And he did. Change the title. There you go. Acknowledge the Tribal Chief.
I think because of the ways that Goldberg has won in the past, after seeing 2 spears in a row, that's when we got nervous.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Could you imagine if it could have been Goldberg and Brock Lesnar in the title match?
Oh, God. Spoiler!
Thank God it wasn't.
Exactly.
But anyways, right decision was made. And Roman is still champ, continuing his 540-plus day title reign, and this is so freaking impressive.
It really is.
Like, I remember, it's insane how, Roman's title reign started August 30th, 2020.
Yep.
Still continuing to this day.
Dang right.
So, here's the thing. That means he's been champ for more than half the pandemic. And, there hasn't been a Universal title change in a year and a half. I think possibly it could happen at WrestleMania, but we'll get to that when we get to Mania.
Exactly.
But Roman Reigns, it's undeniable that he has been literally the greatest world champion in WWE in the last, 15 years.
He's up there with the Walters, in my opinion. I'm sorry, the Gunther. Gunther.
Well, to be perfectly fair, the Walter wasn't exactly a world champ.
He has a point. I'm not gonna lie, he has a point. That's not really a world title.
It's the NXT UK title.
It's in a brand that nobody really, watches. If you watch NXT UK, that's fine. I just don't watch NXT UK because I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I just still wonder what potential that would have had if they just kept going.
Exactly.
Same thing with a lot of other things. But
for real.
The colorful days of 2019.
Ah, man.
Colorful days of 2018 to 2020.
Yep.
My God, it was awesome. All right.
It was, man. It was.
Well, that match was short. We didn't really talk much about it because there wasn't much to talk about. So we're going to move on to the Elimination Chamber match where the winner got a Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania 38.
Yep.
And the participants Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Liv Morgan, Doudrop, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair. What I actually want to say is, first off, congratulations to Bianca Belair. She got the win.
Dang right she did.
But also, I admired the creativity that Alexa Bliss had a swing in her pod.
Oh yeah, I was in a call with my boys. Shout out to my boys, I love you guys. We were laughing our heads off when they showed that. I was like, yo, what the heck? And shout out to my buddy Beast Mode 9000 because he said they could have kept the swing in for like the men's match or whatever. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was in the same pod that Brock Lesnar ended up being in, so.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Brock Lesnar in that swing?
Brock's just swinging in the swing and he breaks it.
He's just swinging it, having a good time, smiling.
Oh, he was smiling, all right.
But yeah, a lot of us expected something, but the evil is mine. Dun, 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 dun.
And once again, the IWC and the dirt sheets are wrong. Of course, because Alexa Bliss is back to her, goofy, Harley Quinn-ish self, and I love it. I do not mind this character. I don't get what people hate about the character. Oh, that's right, because it's not the goddess. Well, you're not getting the goddess back. Get over it.
Well, it's possible. We just not now.
Well, sure. It could be like a kind of a combination of both. I mean, I'm fine with both characters. I just personally like this one a lot better. That's just me.
I'm glad that Alexa Bliss is back in the ring again. Because as we all know, after Extreme Rules in 2021, she had sinus surgery.
Sure.
So I'm glad that she's doing better. And like all these weird that all these therapy sessions led to this. That was weird.
It worked out because she's back to being her Harley Quinn shelf, like I said. So we'll see.
But there was also another thing. We mentioned, of course, how the fact that women, actually everybody, even the men, came out every 2 minutes from the pods instead of 5. There's also another thing I didn't understand, which is, if Alexa Bliss was going to be at the pod, why did she come out last?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Bianca did win that little gauntlet match during that spot, so, yeah, it makes sense why Bianca came out last.
No, I meant, why did Alexa Bliss enter into the cage last?
Oh, yeah. Why didn't she?
While Nikki ASH and Liv Morgan were standing in the ring, I was wondering, there's a free pod open. Why aren't you guys going in there?
Yeah, I noticed that. Alexa was just walking around taunting people, and I was laughing my head off the entire time. She gets in her pod, she gets in her swing, and starts swinging and laughing her head off. And I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Nikki ASH and Liv Morgan, they entered before her. And I was like, Liv Morgan, it's like she came out, and I was like, wait, what? Wait, hold on a moment. Why is she still staying in the ring? Why is Nikki ASH still staying in the ring? It's the first 4 who enter the chamber go into the pods.
Yeah.
And yet, they didn't do that.
So strange.
That was, very strange. I don't understand that whatsoever. They did the same thing with Brock Lesnar later on in the show, where everybody was, where Austin Theory and Seth Rollins were standing in the ring, and yet there was still a free pod open. Then Brock Lesnar came out last. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's WWE, nothing makes sense.
When it comes to the Elimination Chamber, if you enter, it's first come, first serve.
Exactly.
What a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's title opportunity was only 15 and a half minutes.
Short.
Yeah, the average
Short.
time length of Elimination Chamber matches are 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, there was like 1 or 2 times it went to 40, but that was because it was so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in this case, it's like I don't understand where the hell this came from. But yeah, if they were trying to save up for time, then
yes.
Did we really need the second chamber match then, or did we really need other matches? There are other matches we could have cut out of the card if you needed to save time.
Yeah, that was announced, and it didn't even end up happening. So because of time constraints. So
yeah, it was like very dumb.
Very.
So I didn't understand what the hell that was all about, but the case is like there's something I want to give a shout out to. Can we give praise to freaking Dewdrop? As much as that name sucks, she proved in this match that not only is she a great competitor, but she's one of the safest workers.
She is.
There was a moment where Liv Morgan was on the top rope. Dewdrop pushed her, but that caused Liv Morgan's leg to literally get hung up on the ring post, and it got stretched in an awkward position.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Dewdrop immediately rushed to her and set her leg free, while also making it look like she wanted to do more damage instead.
Yep.
And as a result, Liv Morgan, as far as we know right now, folks, is A-OK.
She's a tough cookie.
Yep. So, well done and props to Dewdrop. And also, can we also say that, even though this happened the next night, that match between Dewdrop and Bianca Belair on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, it was fun.
That was so good. A lot of people were like, what? Why are we getting this match? I'm like, because it's fun.
Exactly. Wrestling's all about fun.
Bianca Belair hitting a kiss of death on Dewdrop?
That's what Candy said.
Perfectly too. Dewdrop, she knows how to get herself in the right positions at the right time.
There you go.
She really helped Bianca look very strong, and Bianca did a great job in keeping the balance up too.
Yep.
Those are great workers. So that's what we need.
For real.
Which this is all amazing. So how this worked out was the first person eliminated was Nikki ASH by Rhea Ripley, who in every single time they faced off, Rhea always won. Including the following night on Raw. Again.
Exactly. Which was weird. And right now it's not weird, it's just don't know why we're continuing this weird.
Yeah, can we honestly just confirm it right now that Nikki ASH versus Rhea Ripley is last year's Liv Morgan versus Carmella?
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually witnessed that and the pre-show at Extreme Rules when I went to Columbus. Oh boy.
Oh wow.
However, I will admit though, I love the crowd in Columbus. They went nuts for a lot of wrestlers.
There you go.
They really, here's the thing, folks. It's because of that I just know that if there's ever another pay-per-view coming to Columbus, you bet your ass I'm going to be there.
We're going to be in Columbus next week, so yeah, for Raw, so there you go.
Well, it's Monday Night Raw. I meant for a pay-per-view. I only make the long travels if it's a pay-per-view.
There you go.
Okay. Dewdrop, of course, was eliminated by Liv Morgan after an insane-looking powerbomb.
Oh, yeah.
She managed to also make sure that in the pinfall, she extended her body weight onto Dewdrop's legs to further increase the pressure.
Exactly.
So well done on that. Liv Morgan ended up being eliminated by Alexa Bliss to, well, let's be honest, at that point, we're like, well, there goes our hopes of Liv Morgan going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think Liv is going to get her moment. Regardless of what people think out there on the IWC, I do think Liv Morgan will get her opportunity, but we got to get some storytelling out of the way first before that happens. So, yeah. I was upset to see Liv go. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Not as upset as I was at the Royal Rumble. She got eliminated by the Bella Twins, but it was still, it's understandable why Liv was eliminated by, Alexa Bliss, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe WrestleMania.
Rhea Ripley, of course, eliminated next by Bianca Belair, and then Bianca went on to eliminate Alexa Bliss to win it all. Alexa almost won the match.
I saw it coming.
Alexa Bliss almost won the match, too.
Yes, she did, which I was like, come on, don't, like, give someone new the win. Not against Bianca, but I knew she was going to win, but I was like, dreading it. It's not really towards Bianca, it's just like, I don't know, like, you gotta get somebody else new. I know what they want to finish off the storytelling with her and Bex, but We're going to kind of fun to see something new, but that's just me. Very good storytelling out of the way first. So,
yeah, well, at least
it's cool.
Well, at least for once, the whole thing with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, at least this match is existent not because of the racist stands.
No, it's not because of race. It's not about any of that. It's about, storytelling. That's about it. They're going to tie up loose ends because of what happened at SummerSlam. And we're going to get them out of the way. And the wrestling world's going to be totally happy with this in the end. Yeah, they're totally going to be happy.
So Bianca Belair is going to WrestleMania. Last year, she contested for the SmackDown Women's title. This year for the Raw Women's title. She gonna do for both next year? Just kidding. No.
Please God, no.
No. But I'll ask Willie, what was your thoughts on the Women's Chamber match?
Good match. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I would have done the eliminations a little bit differently, but that's just me. I would have had Liv Morgan and Bianca and maybe Liv, Bianca, Alexa. Yeah, Liv, Bianca, and Alexa probably the final three, but that's just me. Rhea, I thought, was going to win this match. I'm not going to lie. Rhea was my dark horse to win. And back in my mind, I thought Bianca was going to win, but just the way she was booked on Raw, I was like, maybe they're going to swerve us. Maybe they're going to give somebody else the win. I'm like, Alexa's going to win this. And that's why I was set on Alexa winning, of course, last week. But, she didn't. It's okay. People are like, oh, they ruined Alexa. This is why she shouldn't have returned. Whether they ruined Alexa, no. I think she's fine with this. I think she'll be fine going forward. She'll probably have a big WrestleMania match for all we know. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Alexa. Everyone else did great. Bianca's the right winner. Let's be honest. Bianca's the right winner. Like I said, they want to tie up loose ends for what happened at SummerSlam. That's what we're going to do. Regardless if it's the main event or not, it's going to happen. Even if it's main events, I win because my favorite's the main event. So, I win. Bianca's the right winner. So, I'm fine with it. I like Bianca. It's just that, you can't keep caving in to most people nowadays. So, yeah, I understand why they did it this time, which is great. And it's not based on race or anything like that or a hashtag or nothing like that. It's about tying up loose ends on what happened last year and WWE probably did that huge mistake. So WWE is really tying up that mistake, even though it wasn't a mistake at all. So I'm excited. Bex and Bianca's going to roll. I can't wait.
I like that reasoning. That's why we're awesome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And now we are moving on to the next match. Very, pretty disappointing tag team match that took place. Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville versus Naomi and Ronda Rousey. I can't believe a match with Ronda Rousey we just said was disappointing.
Yeah, it was alright for what it was.
I mean, Ronda Rousey, she had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back, or as it showed, one arm tied on her side.
Yeah, I was like, that's not your back, that's the side. What are you doing, ref? So weird. I love the gear she brought out. Her judo gear, which was awesome. It was with her background on. I was like, this is dope.
Yeah, that's the one thing I liked about that. But also, that also reminds me of another thing. They really upgraded the women's outfits. They're no longer wearing like those t-shirts over their bodysuits. They're just wearing the bodysuits.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, me and my homies sent over that. Come on, let's be honest. It was kind of hot. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Honestly, come on, people out there.
It reminded me of the time when Alexa Bliss faced Sasha Banks in that match at Abu Dhabi.
I remember that.
And they were just wearing, like, the bodysuits.
Yes.
I actually like how they're just wearing the bodysuits for Saudi Arabia.
Which is great.
Or for Nikki ASH's case, just wearing her natural ring gear.
Exactly.
For her, she had no difference.
Not really.
They did a good job in looking great. Matter of fact, they look way better in the bodysuits.
They do.
Than they do in their natural ring gear. I'm not even afraid to say that.
God dang, like these people out there, like Rhea Ripley out here and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan actually did a tribute to who was it? Britney Spears. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the fact that here's the thing. If we were women, that's a weird thing for me to say, but if we were women and we were competing in Saudi Arabia and we knew we had to wear like bodysuits, honestly, I think we both would come up with like customized ideas.
Exactly.
So yeah, Naomi. Also, she usually wrestles in a bodysuit anyway.
Exactly, so it was normal to see her like that. Charlotte looked great in the bodysuit, Naomi looked great, everyone else looked great. Sonya looked great. It was great to see Sonya back in the ring again, and we'll probably see her at WrestleMania again, faced off against Naomi to tie up that storyline and all that, which I don't know why that's still going on, but that's the big for you. Yeah, Ronda looked great.
Yeah, for the case of Ronda Rousey, yeah, like, she wrestled like, wearing the jiu-jitsu outfits that's the right outfits. And here's the thing, we're like, hey, it covers up her body, so it counts.
Yep. And she didn't wear any makeup. I noticed that. I was like, Ronda looks different tonight. Like, she wasn't wearing makeup. I was like, okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, like, match itself was not that great. Unfortunately.
I actually wasn't paying attention. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we all knew, like, we all figured they were gonna keep Ronda and Charlotte as far away from each other as possible.
Which is fine with me, because you don't want to have them touch that much until Mania.
Exactly. Besides, kind of figured out. I even called it Ronda Rousey would get the win with the one-armed armbar on Sonya Deville.
There you go. There's a mouthful. One-armed armbar. One-bar armbar. One-arm armbar. One-bar arm. There you go.
One-bar armbar?
Yes, exactly. It's tongue twister right there for you people.
Oh, jeez, man. That is awesome. Like The Miz.
Exactly.
Who, by the way, said that he had to make a personal phone call to somebody.
He did.
And that dashing, smoking mirrors guy was Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. No, people, it was not who you think it was. No, it was Logan Paul. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of popped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big Logan Paul fan, but I prefer him over the other Paul brother. And that's not always saying much, but still.
First off, we'll say there's not much we can say about the tag team match that took place.
Nah. Not really. It was there.
Yeah. I also want to take this moment and say, y'all know me. I don't like Logan Paul at all. I even taunted his fights with KSI.
Yeah, he did. I rather see KSI than Logan Paul, like legit.
Yeah, it's like the whole boxing fights with KSI and Logan Paul. I was always like taunting it, and then I taunted the whole thing with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather,
which was the most scripted boxing fight in the world.
Yeah, this dude if wants to fight Mike Tyson. I'm like, yeah, sure.
I'm like, wow, this is just crazy and weird, isn't it?
Somebody kicked that dude's ass already. Like, gosh.
Can't believe I would say this, but I bet even Jake Paul should fight Logan and kick his head off.
Dude, that'd just be nothing because it'd be two brothers fighting. They wouldn't even bring it to each other.
Yeah, that's true. Let's be honest. Jake is a lot worse than Logan.
Exactly. Why are we talking about boxing on a wrestling show?
Well, mostly because one of those guys suddenly showed up.
Exactly. You know, people thought I expected really Cody Rhodes. I'm not gonna lie, when Biz did say dashing, I was like, wait a minute, there's no way Cody's showing up. I honestly do think Cody is showing up, just not yet.
I don't understand the whole hype behind Cody Rhodes. You know me, man. I've never liked him.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows my opinion on Cody. I like Cody as a person, wrestler. I just find him overrated. His ego is just out of control. So I'm excited to see him back. Do what he wants. If he wants to do what he wants, I respect that, regardless of who you are. So if Cody wants to make his way back home, yeah, I said it. Then he'll make his way back home.
Yeah, indeed.
Exactly.
So I don't know what else to say. Like, the one thing I will do is I actually got noticed for this on social media, but I praised Logan Paul for being the heel here.
Which was great. I appreciate everybody for bringing him back as a heel, not as a freaking babyface.
Yeah, because he would never work out as a babyface.
Seriously. It's like bringing in...
And did you see the heat from the crowd, all that loud booing?
Oh, yeah. He taunted Rey Mysterio, and he said his pool tours were bigger than him. I'm not going to laugh at that. But,
yeah. Just like when he was looking at the crowd, you saw the people, like, not only they were booing, but I saw a lot of middle fingers.
Yeah, I saw it, too.
Yeah, I saw all those middle fingers, and I'm like, it's like, it was loud. The booing was loud in there, and the fact that Logan, like, got on the ropes and taunted the crowd for that. I'm like, holy shit, just like that, Logan Paul's a bigger heel than a lot of others on the roster right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously people legitimately don't like him, but at the same time, he's performing the heel role extremely well. So
exactly.
I'm not kidding, I look forward to the build-up Logan Paul and The Miz have.
Match with future tag team champions. I'm not even joking about that either.
Yeah, that could actually happen.
Yeah, it is.
Logan Paul's athletic. He can handle himself.
Oh, bro. And he's strong, too.
If he can handle people like freaking Floyd Mayweather, and if he can handle, like, even though that was like a hugging match.
Exactly.
If he can handle all that, then he can handle, like, the tag team match with the Mysterios.
I think he can bump, and of course he can bump. He was like a freaking stunner last year. I think he wants to be here.
And that was a freaking awesome stunner, too.
Oh, bro.
The way he landed from it was awesome.
Yeah, bro.
So, much as people don't like him, and I understand Logan Paul's had the controversies and whatnot,
yes.
It seems like he has a passion for what he does here.
Exactly. I respect that.
Hell,
I
honestly, we were like very concerned and suspicious when it came to Bad Bunny last year. Look how that turned out.
I don't know who that Bad Bunny was, but once he wrestled, I'm like, yeah, this dude's cool.
Yeah, I got to the point where I said I would not mind seeing more of Bad Bunny in the future, which we got at the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
The fact that he took a freaking F5 from Brock Lesnar,
which was so cool.
I'm like, this dude respects the industry. He landed from the F5 perfectly.
He did.
All right, folks. We're going to move on to the next match that happened in Elimination Chamber. And we got quite a bit to say about this one, actually. Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss in the Falls Count Anywhere match. And yeah, I think you all know what we have to say when it comes to, well, that Falls Count Anywhere match. Go ahead, Willie, say it.
His neck.
Oh my God! That
good God.
Freaking hurt.
This man's neck almost collapsed. Like, no joke.
He almost broke his goddamn neck.
Seriously. Like, yo.
And major props to Happy Corbin for pulling him out of the ring instantly after that.
Exactly.
He made sure to stay in character and made it seem like, haha, you didn't get Madcap. Take that, Drew. But in all actuality, he's like, check on him.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, I was like, fucking check on him now.
Exactly. I've seen wrestlers land on their neck. Like, remember Lance Archer a few months ago land on his freaking neck, and that was scary. This was scary too. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, and also this also reminded me of like conveniently the last time they were in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, when Goldberg hit the jackhammer on the Undertaker. We were instantly yelling, "Stop the match! Stop the match!"
Yeah, y'all can go back and watch that review of that show. That was something.
That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, for real.
And when Madcap landed on his head, like, they showed several replays, I was like, oh God, that hurts.
Exactly.
The shocking revelation of this is Madcap Moss is 100% healthy.
Yeah, he's okay.
I was like, oh, thank fucking God.
You get major props to that, man. And plus, no, it's not Drew McIntyre's fault. Don't blame Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, it ain't Drew's fault. So. Madcap, he kind of landed incorrectly, and as a result, he landed on his own neck. But the fact that he kept going for another 5 minutes, match wasn't that long, but it was well done.
Yeah, props to the guy. Legit.
It was Falls Count Anywhere, but it ended in the ring.
And like I said last week, this is a sleeper match, and some people were going to sleep. I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty fun for what it was.
Yeah, because like it was a sleeper match. We already knew it was going to be the sleeper match because like we saw their match at day 1, and we were like, that was actually pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre must see something interesting in Madcap Moss to want to face him twice on pay-per-view.
There you go.
Madcap Moss, he's proven himself to be insanely impressive. Let's go back once again, Survivor Series, when he eliminated several participants in that Battle Royal, including the likes of Cesaro, who, by the way, I don't know what the hell's going on with him these days.
I don't know where he is.
And, of course, day 1, he had a pretty good match with Drew McIntyre, and at Royal Rumble, he eliminated the likes of AJ Styles.
God, yeah. I rolled my eyes and I yelled so loudly at that one.
And then he landed on his neck at Elimination Chamber, but still got up and continued the match with Drew McIntyre. Awesome. And it was pretty good. Yeah. So, a lot of people, once again, they refuse to look at the bigger picture because they're too busy complaining about the freaking name. Like, seriously, it's just a name.
Exactly.
Like,
don't get so caught up in your feelings.
Like, I understand, like, you know, what was his previous name? Riddick Moss?
Yes, Riddick Moss.
Madcap Moss. I'll be honest, Madcap Moss, it's grown on me.
Bro, man.
Madcap Moss. Because isn't the whole thing about the whole cap thing, isn't that supposed to mean lie?
Yes.
Madcap Moss. Some people think that sounds stupid, but it doesn't sound as bad as Dewdrop.
Nah.
Dewdrop, let's be honest.
Madcap.
Bad name. But honestly, things are working out. Because it's not as bad as Shorty G.
Shorty G, I'm not gonna lie, kind of grew on me. Thank God he's back to Chad Gable now, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's like, the whole situation with Madcap Boss, he's a great competitor. Just because he has a bad name, like, everybody is instantly denying how good he is in the ring because of his freaking name.
They always look at the name besides the wrestler, which is weird in my opinion.
Yeah, really, I just don't understand that.
Exactly.
But you gotta give props to the fact that Madcap Moss held his own against Drew McIntyre twice in a row. Drew got the win, and yes, folks, this is inevitably leading to Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, which even, I'll be honest, I'm not happy about.
Pun intended.
But, oh my god. Oh, I just now realized I just said that.
Exactly.
But, here's the thing. As everybody knows, I've been saying for the longest time, I wanted Roman Reigns to face Drew McIntyre for the Universal title at WrestleMania this year. That seems like it's not happening, so I'm assuming it's going to happen at a later time, if ever. But the fact of the matter is, even if I've said that for a long time, do you see me like throwing a bitchy fit?
No, of course not. Why should you?
I mean, it is. I've always said it is what it is. Like I've always said, they're gonna be fine. And a lot of people have told me, Christian, you say that all the time, and I'm like, have I been wrong?
No, of course not.
They'll be fine. They have like a few good moments, some bad moments, a good event, a bad event, a failure of an event, but in the end, they're gonna be okay. They'll be fine.
We always look at the bigger picture in certain situations, so that's what it should be.
You look at the bigger picture, then you are looking great. And that's what I do.
Facts, dog.
You know me, man. So, in the end, Drew McIntyre got the win on Madcap Boss with a Claymore.
Madcap. So cap means lie. So shouldn't it be called Mad Lie Moss?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cap. That's cap. That means lie.
Yeah, they're literally.
Don't you love when AJ Styles said that?
There you go.
Cap. That's cap. That means lie, by the way.
There you go. Yeah, Drew won. Good match, though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Drew, I know people are like, oh, WrestleMania's facing Corbin. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe they can run it off on SmackDown. We don't freaking know. But this is obviously hanging into WrestleMania. But I'm excited for it. This match was still good. Besides that spot, it was still good.
Yeah, honestly, there is another question I had, which was regarding the likes of Happy Corbin. How is it that he hasn't had a singles title run since 2017? Mm-hmm. People want to complain about others not getting a certain title run. I'm like, look at freaking Corbin here. With his gimmick right now, he could have been a hell of an Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, for real.
A lot better than Shinsuke Nakamura, who, let's be honest, Corbin should have won the title from, since Nakamura's the reason he became broke.
Basically.
Yeah, broke, depressed Corbin was caused by Shinsuke Nakamura. And then when he became Happy Corbin, conveniently before that happened, Shinsuke Nakamura won the Intercontinental title. So how cool would it have been if Happy Corbin, after getting lucky in the lottery, got his revenge, won the Intercontinental title and still held it today?
That would make sense storyline-wise.
It would, actually, because Happy Corbin is undefeated.
Yes.
Hasn't lost, hasn't been pinned or submitted since becoming Happy Corbin. They're now literally, like, bragging about it now.
Yeah, basically.
But, I think this is all leading to Drew McIntyre ending his undefeated streak at WrestleMania, which is a place known for ending undefeated streaks.
Undertaker,
Asuka, and even Kurt Hawkins' losing streak.
Exactly. But who remembers that? I tried to. I'm not gonna lie. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to move on to the next match, which was the Raw Women's title match.
Oh,
and
God.
In my opinion, the match of the night.
Oh, come on, Christian. You're just saying that because I'm in here. I'm kidding.
Becky Lynch versus Lita. And
really, really fun match.
This is the match that was promoted heavily on the billboards in Saudi Arabia, which at the time had never been done before for any big sporting event in that country involving women.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it was.
More history.
It was amazing.
Dang right it was.
Hell, honestly, I thought for a while that maybe this wasn't going to be that good because, Lita, she's kind of got the aging on her.
Yes.
But She proved that she can still go.
Yes, sir.
In a big-time matchup for the Raw Women's Championship. Not to mention, I love the build-up leading into it as well.
That was great.
Lita wanted to show that she still had one last run in her, one last title run. Spoiler alert, folks, she didn't win. But it's okay.
No, she didn't.
It's okay, though. Like, there was the moment in the match where she hit the twist of fate and the Lita saw. We were actually like, holy shit, she did it.
Yeah, legit. Like, I almost messed the... I was like, yo, there's... Yeah, she can freaking do it.
And, well, she didn't end up getting it. But could you imagine if she did get it? We got Lita versus Becky versus Bianca at WrestleMania.
I'd be fine with it.
Hell yeah. Almost got me.
Seriously.
But Lita performed very well. The match was 12 minutes, but it felt longer because it was so good.
Yep.
And in the end, I actually like how Becky did not win by submission, but rather the manhandle slam.
Dang right, which is awesome.
Yep. Lita got pinned, and the audience in Saudi Arabia, let's be honest, once again we bring up, the audience in Saudi Arabia have always been energetic and full of electricity.
Which is the best part about a wrestling show.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I get the whole thing, the whole, like, controversial stuff about their country, and I ain't a fan of it either, but, I gotta say that it's amazing how much the fans in attendance actually give a shit.
They usually give a crap more than people over here in the States.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there were, like, 35,000 people in attendance, and from what a fan who... I have a fan, actually, I have several friends who live in Saudi Arabia. They actually tweeted to me. They said, dude, the place is sold out.
That was sick. There you go.
Yeah, they sold out the Jeddah Superdome.
Nice.
Congratulations, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm like, I even said, I'm not surprised. Everybody loves those events.
Yeah, for real.
And, yeah, I understand, like, everybody can go ahead and they can... Here's in the Losers Lounge here, we're no longer, like, the type of guys who complain about what goes on in the country over there.
Yeah.
Because, like, none of those things that happen in the country, none of those, and we admit, none of those terrible things, they are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
None of those terrible things that ever happened over there have ever been because of WWE or affected the WWE.
Exactly.
Whether it was that journalist, he was not signed with WWE, and they did not do it because he was a WWE guy. It was absolutely terrible, and it was because of other reasons.
Yes.
Seriously though, they should not be doing that shit.
Exactly, for real. Like, what the heck?
And not to mention, Crown Jewel 2019, the whole transit delay.
Yes. That wasn't WWE's fault either.
That wasn't WWE intentionally doing that to Saudi Arabia. WWE wasn't doing that because... No, sorry, I need to say it again. Saudi Arabia did not do that to WWE on purpose because what was the reason for it?
Because they're... wasn't their flight... I can't remember what was it. I really can't remember what it was, actually. What was it?
Yeah, they had, like, their plane were delayed because of, what was it? Engine problems.
Okay.
So they were delayed a full 24 hours.
There you go.
The fact of the matter is, like, people are saying that, like, Vince McMahon and other people, like, just left them stranded there. I'm like, for one thing, we all know.
Stupid.
Yeah, that is very stupid because, like we always know, Vince McMahon and others, they're on their own private jets, and they were long gone before the transit delays ever happened.
Exactly. So why would Vince strand his own wrestlers?
Yeah, from their perspective, they were like, okay, they're going to get on their flight and they're following us. All right, so we're good to go. We'll see you guys over there. Yep. That was from their perspective. It wasn't.
Yep.
So you cannot blame it on Vince, and you can't blame it on the corporate for, like, you know, doing that. If you want to blame it on anybody, like, blame it on the air traffic, but not because they were trying to hold them hostage, because that's not what it was. There was no evidence of holding hostage. And even if there was, like, what the hell would they be holding them hostage for? And how, like, what was the point of it?
Exactly.
Somebody who holds somebody hostage on purpose does not let them go willingly.
No, for real.
The moment they got everything fixed up, they sent the wrestlers instantly on the plane and sent them on their way.
Yes, sir.
So it was not their freaking fault. I've seen a lot of crazy things when it comes to transit delays. There have been plane delays that have happened sometimes a week.
Yes.
Plane delays happen all the time, like hundreds of times per day worldwide.
Yeah. It happens.
It happens. Ask anybody.
Seriously.
At least anybody who's been on a plane delay, whether it was in their country or someone else's country, that shit happens.
Delays in general happen. It's life.
Hell, I'll be honest, I got delayed when I was heading off to WrestleMania in Orlando. I was delayed for 2 hours.
Yep.
Were they trying to hold me hostage in Buffalo?
Heck no. Of course not.
Alright, I said too much, but all I'm saying once again is what I love is like, WWE and their fans in Saudi Arabia, they're having a great time. And it pays a lot of money, so here's the thing, it's a business. Money comes first. So you can't say like, we don't give a shit about the money. Well, guess what? The business does.
Business is business, people. Oh, you're being AEW, WWE. You're being WWE drone. What's up about AEW next week? You're being E-drones, all that kind of stuff. The fancy words that wrestling fans like to use nowadays. No, we're speaking our honest opinions. That's about it.
Yeah, here's the thing. What the fans are complaining about, like, they were like, well, it doesn't help, the money doesn't help the product and everything. I'm like, well, that is also true, correct. Doesn't help the product from getting better, but it keeps the freaking business afloat.
Exactly.
And here's like from a lot of other people's perspective, here's the thing. Like we mentioned, the IWC is like what, 20% of the actual fan base?
Yes.
There's not everybody has a Twitter. So, and you can't say that, here's the thing, you can't say that they are the ones they had to listen to the most, because honestly, like 20% of your actual audience, meanwhile, the rest of the 80% are actually having a good time.
Exactly. Don't listen to a bunch of people on Twitter and, social media pages typing on their keyboards thinking they know the business. Heck, we don't even know the business.
Yeah, we don't know.
We just come here and speak our opinions.
Hell, we even said that there were a lot of times we just said like we didn't like some matches that took place tonight at Elimination Chamber. The Royal Rumble, I said that was honestly mixed to negative. I didn't really like a lot of the things that happened over there.
Same here.
And that happens, and it's okay. It happens. We were like, what, I was like, what, they had a bad night. I'm just going to move on to the next one, because if I keep complaining about this, I'm going nowhere, and I'm just making myself miserable.
Yeah.
You let your anger out, and then you move on.
Exactly.
So, my opinion, the product is doing fine. Just fine.
It's fine. WWE's fine. Vince is fine. Wrestling's fine in general. Just enjoy what you like to enjoy, people. Anyways, we got way off topic of that. We like to discuss that. I personally thought with Becky Lynch and Lita, I thought it was a really fun encounter. Of course, dream match. Duh. It was great. The crowd was electric. And yes, it was match of the night for me. Of course, not only because my girl was in their backs, but because Lita. I'm a big fan of Lita, and I grew up with Lita. And just seeing those two go out there and do their thing. Lita seemed like she didn't miss a step going out there to wrestling for not at least how many years?
Well, here's the thing. The last time she had a one-on-one match was in 2012 against Heath Slater.
Yep. Exactly.
But before that, her last one-on-one match was in 2006. So,
there you go.
16 years.
16 years, there you go. It's just great to see Lita back in the ring. It's very important to Becky Lynch as well, being in there with her legit idol, which was pretty awesome. And so just seeing those two go out there and do their thing, it was fantastic. A very fun back and forth encounter. Yes, there was a point where I thought Lita was going to win the title, I'm not going to lie. But she didn't. It was great. Becky whispered something in her ear after the match, probably a thank you or something like that. Crowd loved Lita. Crowd loved Bex. My girl's still the Raw Women's Champ, and people can still cry all they want. She's losing at WrestleMania. So,
yeah, I also love the fans like chanting "Thank you, Lita" when it was over. Huh?
Oh yeah, that was great too.
They really cared, and they really showed their support and respect.
Which is awesome. Which we always should do in wrestling.
The women honestly dominated a majority of the pay-per-view, and it was fantastic.
Oh, it was. Legit.
I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
So, I will say, like, with Becky and Lita, it's something I would definitely look back on at times, because I'm pretty sure Lita can say, unlike most people, like, when it comes to, like, having, like, certain matches, like, to have a comeback for, you're like, oh, look at this. I just got back, came back here, and I'm having this great match. Did not end up working out.
Yeah, man.
Example, like, as you know, Shawn Michaels at Crown Jewel.
We don't talk about that.
Of course we don't. But also, I want to say something. This is actually a true fact. The women accumulated over 50% of the actual wrestling that took place in Saudi Arabia this time.
Once again, history being made. It's great. I don't repeat
combined. Yeah, combined together, like the amount of time the men's matches took place was 30 minutes. For the women, 37.
Wow.
Ta-da! Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next match, and that was honestly something that should have been the match of the night. The Usos versus the Viking Raiders with the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And who won the match, Willie?
I don't know. Who won the match?
That's the thing. It's like... Okay, folks.
I put it on the script. I put it on the script right there in front of you. Do you not see it?
No, there's literally nothing there. See, look.
Yes, there is. I put it all down in black and white. Wait, that's the wrong script. Hang on, let me get the other script. Here you go. There's the script.
Willie, it says the match ended in a no contest. There's no winner.
No, it didn't.
Are you
it happened.
What
are you talking about?
Look at this. Look at this. It says no contest. Does that look like there's a winner to you?
No. Was this really no contest?
Okay, let's just flat out say it. Viking Raiders came out to the ring for the SmackDown Tag Team title match, and we were like, oh, great. A great SmackDown Tag Team title match before the main event, and it didn't happen.
Exactly. I was like, what the heck? I legit got pissed. I was like, what the heck?
So I was like, I don't understand what was going on. But then I looked at my phone, looked at the time, and I was like, oh, okay, I see a thing. I think I know where they're going with this.
Yeah.
Running out of time.
Same here. I was like, yeah, they're running out of time.
They have an Elimination Chamber match coming up next. But at the same time, we're like, why? Like,
why?
Oh God! Like they cut down the time lengths of both Elimination Chamber matches and still didn't have time for this.
Yes, they did.
The one thing I'll be honest, I feel bad for them. They flew all the way to Saudi Arabia just to do that.
I feel bad for those guys. Like, what the heck? They didn't deserve that. Like, jeez.
Yeah, it's like, must suck to head over to Saudi Arabia to compete in a match that, here's the thing, we talked about this last week on the podcast for a while. We were like, this is a match we were looking forward to for a long time.
Exactly. That's like being driven to your job, being told, like, you don't have to work today.
Or worse, flying out to do a business meeting and all to be told, the business meeting got canceled last second.
Exactly. It's like, oh, wow. So I flew out here for nothing.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's something.
So, personal opinion, this should happen at WrestleMania as a way of saying we're sorry about that. But
exactly. Make a ladder match.
But I kind of have a feeling they're going to do this on SmackDown instead.
Yes, they will. Yes,
I think they'll do it on SmackDown this upcoming Friday, or in this case, as of release today. But or if not that, then probably next week. I think they'll do it because it was supposed to happen at the pay-per-view. And as a result of this, I think the Usos will retain against the Viking Raiders because of a big brawl that ends up happening where we will have ourselves a fatal four-way match at WrestleMania. The Usos, the Viking Raiders, The New Day, and Los Lotharios.
Fine with me.
Honestly, yeah, that's cool with me.
Legit, fine with me.
And can we also bring up something else that didn't happen, since we're talking about things that didn't happen?
No IC title match.
Oh yeah, no IC title match. That's mostly because congratulations to Sami Zayn, by the way.
Yeah, we know why that didn't happen. So yeah, moving on.
Yeah, new Intercontinental Champion. But no, the something else that didn't happen. This is an event in Saudi Arabia. Did not feature Mansoor.
Yeah, the streak's over.
In any way, shape, or in any way, shape, or form, Mansoor was not on the card.
He wasn't even mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
a big surprise.
No, legit, man. Like, holy crap.
Like, I was like, what? But then
So,
again,
like,
he didn't have a reason to be in there this time, because the last number of times he had random matches on these events, he wasn't even a part of the official roster yet. And now he is. His match with Mustafa Ali, who at this rate became a joke of himself.
Yeah, and stop that stupid hashtag out there.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No, it didn't, and it won't work.
Hashtags
work. Don't work.
Yeah, hashtags don't work unless, of course, you're Sasha stans.
Or stupid fans in general. So yeah, hashtag stop the hashtag.
Yeah. But it seemed to me like the audience, I'm thankful the audience, like, didn't notice it much that Mansoor wasn't around and didn't start chanting for him.
Imagine.
What was that noise?
I'm walking out the door. Waiting for my brother to get back home from school right now.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the main event, which was the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. As the almighty WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley defended against AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar.
I think you mean Cowboy Brock. Cowboy Brock.
Cowboy shit. Cowboy shit. Why are you looking at me like that?
Christian, that's the wrong wrestler. That's the wrong wrestler. I think. Actually, that wrestler's not relevant anymore. His title reign sucks.
Well, we'll talk about that wrestler next week.
Yeah.
And we will talk about how his reign sucks next week. But in the meantime, folks, something strange happened in this match, which was Bobby Lashley was removed from the match out of nowhere.
Strangely.
Yes,
legit strangely.
Seth Rollins hit a buckle bomb on Austin Theory, which ended up breaking through Lashley's pod, and we were actually like, oh, Lashley can compete now. Because,
no, he didn't compete.
He had in storyline, he had a concussion, but the actuality of the situation, folks, is Bobby Lashley needs shoulder surgery, and he'll be out for 4 months, thus missing WrestleMania.
Which sucks. I'm a big fan of Big Bob. Yes, that's Big Bob, not Bobby Roode.
Yeah,
who's here next to this week for some reason.
That honestly explains why Bobby Lashley didn't compete whatsoever between the Rumble and the Chamber.
That does explain a lot.
He didn't compete before.
Why'd you put the title on him?
Well, because the injury happened at the Rumble when, he competed
in
the match.
Wait a minute. I think I know exactly where the injury might have happened.
All those German suplexes where he kept shifting himself to... I don't know why he kept shifting himself that way. I kept saying, stop doing that.
That explains a lot now. You were being too stiff out there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What person, takes a German suplex and then suddenly turns themselves to the left? Or the right, whichever way he went.
Exactly. And he's out here taking and I know why he did that. He wanted to bump and sell, that kind of stuff. But dude, you're on the same size, and you're the same, you have the same strength advantage as Lesnar as well. You're basically a black Bobby. Black Bobby. You are black and you are Bobby. You're black Lesnar. Lashler. That's a new name. Basically Brock Lesnar's other half, and you're doing the same thing he does.
Oh my god, that is actually perfect. The almighty Black Lashler.
Black Lashler. That's a name too right there. Copyright by the Losers Lines. We own that.
Yeah, we own that now. We own everything. We own that. We
own everything.
We own that pop can that's in the corner.
Yeah, we do. We own everything. They even stole our lounge this past week on NXT. How dare they?
Yeah. So, continuing on, as we all know, once again, the pods entered every 2 minutes. Thus, everyone. Then I also love how Bobby Lashley was number 5 to enter. Thus, an empty pod just opened. So Brock Lesnar was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna break through."
So apparently, what I saw or what I heard afterwards, Brock broke the script, and he probably just kicked his way in because he was supposed to enter last, of course. He just kicked his way in. He's like, "Screw it, I'm into the match now."
I heard a bird, by the way.
Yeah, I'm outside. Hang on one sec, Chris. Let me go and get my brother. Keep talking.
I know, but I'm just saying, the bird was agreeing with us. All right. While heel Balor is going to go ahead and get his brother inside because he's back from school, I'm going to take this moment to say, regardless of how things worked out with Bobby Lashley's injury, I really just don't understand why they couldn't have just had him lose the title prior to this or something, or be stripped of the title, or just be flat out honest that in the match at Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley injured his shoulder. I mean, I get the whole point that, they want Brock Lesnar to be champion so he and Roman Reigns can have his winner-takes-all match at WrestleMania. But given the fact that Bobby got legitimately injured, you gotta like, just freaking say it. You gotta say it. I understand if it sucks, and it really does put a lot of yourselves under pressure, because a lot of your plans go out the window. But, shit happens in wrestling. Like, there's a lot of injuries that happen. Whether somebody injures their shoulder, whether somebody injures their neck, somebody has to retire, knee injury, arm injury, any type. Shit happens, and you gotta make sure to have a plan B in case something doesn't work out. As a matter of fact, they should be thankful it wasn't Brock Lesnar or something that got injured here. So, I will say on this case, the way they could have handled the whole thing with Bobby Lashley, they could have done it way better. Like, I understand, he's technically wasn't medically cleared to compete. Should have honestly taken him to Saudi Arabia if he wasn't medically cleared to compete then, because this was just a big waste of time. Wasn't done right. Could have done it way better. I understand the situation of how they did it, but it really should not have happened. Catch my point? Catch my drift. That's usually how it works. So continuing in the match, Seth Rollins and Austin Theory competed, started things off, but once again, the same situation happened where Lesnar entered the match, entered the cage, while Seth and Austin were already in the ring. Well, there was a free pod open, so once again, I'm like, okay, why is this happening? That doesn't make any sense. So, Riddle came out next. And also, speaking of Riddle, that reminds me, there was a funny-ass moment where Austin Theory was taking selfies with everybody inside the chamber pods. And now that I think about it, it would have been hilarious if Brock Lesnar was also in his pod during this part. But Riddle was the only one who just went with it. He actually smiled for the selfie. I was like, okay, that's like typical Riddle. Amazing. So after that, Riddle came out. AJ Styles showed up. And I will say, not much happened in the match at all. Not many good moments. It wasn't until Brock Lesnar smashed his way through that he actually went on a rampage. Hit an F5 on Seth Rollins, gone. Same thing on Riddle, gone. Same thing on AJ Styles, gone. But then, of course, the whole thing with Austin Theory. Austin Theory got some hits on Lesnar, which, of course, pissed him off. And can we just say that amazing F5 off the top of the freaking pod onto the canvas outside? Actually, it wasn't the canvas. It was on the floor outside. Yeah, well, I get the Elimination Chamber was still the bouncy playhouse that I quoted it as in 2017. It was the bouncy playhouse, but at the same time, even then, the way Austin Theory took an F5 from the top of that pod, padded mats or not, that hurts like hell. Because, you're being launched off 15 feet in the air. Holy shit. The fact that Brock Lesnar was willing to actually take high-risk maneuvers like that, when he hardly ever competes in something like a ladder match, he's... This is absolutely something else. So yeah, after that F5 down to the... off the top of that pod, Lesnar went ahead and pinned Austin Theory to become a 7-time overall WWE champion and a 10-time world champion in WWE. So,
I'm not gonna lie, I never thought Lesnar won the titles 7 times. That's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. 7-time WWE champ and 3-time Universal champ. As a result, his match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania is going to be a winner-takes-all match for both the WWE title and the Universal title, which we will get to when we talk WrestleMania on the most stupendous Losers Lounge podcast in history.
Yep.
All right, Willie, what was your thoughts on the main event chamber match?
Well, I personally thought it was really good. It was just like I expected. Lesnar getting there and cleaning house. Again, I'm very disappointed that Lashley didn't get a chance to compete, but now it's understandable why he didn't get a chance to compete with the old injury and thing. I liked how they, kind of got him out of there without him being pinned. So I guess it kind of grants him a rematch since technically he didn't get pinned. So There you go. It was still good. Austin Theory. Props to my dude Austin Theory. I don't know if people don't like the guy for other reasons, but let's face it, man. I don't think anybody in that match, besides I guess maybe Seth Rollins, could have taken that bump, the F5 from the top, and people were upset that he landed the wrong way. I'm like, do you want him to kill himself? Like, what the heck? He couldn't have landed a different way. He would have hurt himself very badly. Heck, Lesnar told the ref to check on the guy after the spot. Props to Brock Lesnar, by the way. Also, where's the real Brock Lesnar? Who's this guy? This guy's smiling. This guy is happy. This dude is wearing cowboy hats, and he's shaking hands with fans. Like, who is this guy? Who is this Brock Lesnar? I don't know. Where's the real Brock Lesnar? Can the real Brock Lesnar please stand up? Please stand up.
I don't know, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. The Elimination Chamber was really fun. It was an overall very fun match. Lesnar did his thing. Everyone did their spots very well. Apparently, Seth Rollins was pretty pissed off because he was supposed to be a little bit later. He was eliminated pretty early for obvious reasons. But it was still a fun match. And the winner was, obviously right there. Christian got it right last week. He picked Brock Lesnar. Of course, I picked Bobby Lashley and compete. So there you go. But it was still a fun match. Lesnar's WWE champion. My opinions on the champion versus champion thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. Whatever.
Yes, indeed. Well,
basically.
Overall, though, it was a crazy chamber match, but like I said, it suffered from questionable predictability for a lot of the matches.
Oh, yeah. A lot of predictability for this match. I mean, everyone thought Bob was going to win. Everyone thought AJ Styles was going to win. Heck, I thought Seth Rollins was going to pick up the dub, but Brock Lesnar is WWE champion. Not still. He is still WWE champion right now as recording, but he is the new WWE champion and, champion versus champion. And we'll see what happens when we talk the most stupendous losers podcast, when we get to WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get my thoughts on the whole thing when we get to there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it's like, there's like a lot of times where, you're questioning whether something's a good idea, whether something's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, as we all know, their main event in WrestleMania this year for the third time, and thus they're the first match to ever headline 3 WrestleManias. And Rock and Austin did not headline 3 Manias, they only did it for 2.
Which is a big feat for those two, Brock and Roman, so that's pretty cool.
Yep, but I will also say, when it comes to the likes of that, there was a lot of other things that could have been done. But
yes.
The first time they made event at WrestleMania is for the WWE title. The second time, the Universal. The third time, for both.
There you go. That's storytelling right there.
That's actually funny to think about.
Because the past 2, Lesnar was heel, Roman's face. Now the roles are reversed.
Yep. So that's why I think it's hilarious. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So, we'll be back next week, folks, to talk AEW Revolution. Yep. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot more matches on the card because it's crazy.
Yes, it is.
But Heel Balor, how about you end it off for us?
I'll end off, like you said. Before we do, I'll say my overall rating for the show. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. Could have been better, but I really enjoyed it more in the Rumble. I'm gonna be honest. And I went to this show, with the lowest hype ever, because with the Rumble I went with so much hype and it failed up to the expectations. With this, I went with 0 hype. Well, I went with hype, just a little bit of expectations, and lived up to the hype. And I was like, you know what, this is a good show. And overall, I enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. And we'll see y'all next week for Revolution. And I'm the Heelest of Balor. That's Christian freaking Miracle. And we'll see you all next week. Too sweet. Peace out.